Are you a woman in business? Are you looking to join the growing ranks of female entrepreneurs taking over the world? You've come to the right place. On Babes in Business, we'll be covering all things business from the female perspective and giving you the tools to empower you on your journey. So now, let's get ready to be empowered on Babes in Business. So you ready to be empowered again? Round 3 of Babes in Business. I'm your head babe in charge, Michelle Dempsey, writer, strategist, speaker. Basically, I do it all as long as it empowers other women. And speaking of empowering other women, I will be at the Women Empower Expo October 15th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., where women all over South Florida will be joining the movement of empowering other business professionals, sharing what they know, what they love to do, and coming together for a really great day. It's only fitting that I introduce my guest to you now. Her name is Ro Forelli, and she also will be at the Women Empower Expo. And if you've been listening for the last 3 shows, we seem to be talking about empowerment a lot. If you are an empowered babe in business and you want to share your story with us, watch live now on Facebook, because you will be able to get the phone number to call in for our giveaway. Without further ado, I am throwing it over to the babe who's with me tonight. Ro, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so awesome to be here.
I'm glad you're here because I feel like since you and I have met, it's been a fast road to friendship and, being
really
on
has.
this journey together.
Yeah, definitely. We support each other and we're watching each other make moves.
Making moves all over the place. So tell us, Ro, what do you do?
Well, hi, everybody. My name's Ro Forelli, and I am a personal development coach. I specialize in working with women who are really ready to transform their lives from the inside out. So a lot of my clients are women who may see themselves in a position in their life where they're just really unhappy. They're not where they expected to be by a certain age. They don't have the life that they had dreamed of having, and they're not really sure why they're where they are. And they want to get out of that, and they want to start living a more fulfilled life. And that's where I come in. They hire me to help them.
That's amazing. And for those of you who know my story, which I've openly published everywhere, if I knew you a year ago, it probably would have saved me a lot of time and trouble, because I was that woman. And so often in what I do, which is empowering other women through content and strategy and coaching, I find that everybody sort of gets to that place, that like, what do I do now place? And it's so hard for me to see because I lived it. So for you, I mean, maybe you can talk a little bit about, why this became your ultimate journey, because I know you've had other things along the road.
Well, I have. It's a pretty interesting story. And I know we were talking earlier about what really triggered me to choose this career, or waking up to the path that chose me.
I like that, the path that chose you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just stepping into my truth is what I call it. And that's what I help other women do as well. But what it was for me, I had been a stay-at-home mom for a couple of years, and I consciously created that reality. I knew that's what I wanted. I was there. I was loving it. But I felt something missing. And I didn't know what it was. And so I thought, I've got to go back to work. So I went back to work, and I went back to this amazing company that I had worked at before, and they brought me in with open arms. They promoted me. They gave me a raise, and I had a mate in the shade. But about a week after that,
wow, a week
after the excitement,
the honeymoon's over.
I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but I know that this isn't it. And
isn't it amazing, that feeling and that voice? Because everyone talks about the when you know, but when it actually happens to you, for me, it was clear as day, and it was so hard for me to ignore.
It's what I call an undeniable sign.
Yes.
Undeniable sign from your gut. Your soul is just speaking to you, saying, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. And your body, if you deny that, I was talking to a client today, actually, who suffers from horrible anxiety. She can't sleep. She's just so depressed and miserable. I mean, that's what happens. Your body is just going to start responding in ill ways because you're going against the stream.
I know that I speak a lot and I write a lot about self-care and the importance of, when you're a woman in business and you're a mom, and if you're not a mom, you're just a woman, you're likely wearing many hats in your day-to-day life. And to come to the end of your day and think, I have a free hour. Am I going to spend it on myself or just collapse into bed? Self-care is really, I think, the difference between owning who you are and what you're doing and giving yourself the space to breathe,
Oh,
which then
yeah.
leads to success. And those who overlook it are the people, because I was the person who lacked
That's such a good
extreme
word.
self-care.
Overlooking it. Extreme self-care. I actually taught a course on extreme self-care based on Cheryl Richardson's book, Extreme Self-Care. I taught that about 3 years ago. Took the course as well, and it was such a transformational experience for myself and for everybody else who was involved. Those core lessons that I learned are with me in my practice today, and it's something I hand down to every single one of my clients.
So now in the case of the client that you spoke to today who's anxious and, isn't really feeling her best, would that be something that you say, like, listen, lady, I could lead you to water, but I can't make you drink?
Right. Well, I pretty much guarantee results with my coaching. And
Really?
I do, but it's based on the understanding that you're going to do
The
the
work.
work.
Naturally.
You got to do the work. And just like you said, you can lead a horse to water, but if they're not drinking, they're not going to be nourished. So, yeah, I do. It depends. It depends on who I'm talking to and the package that they go with. But I have a 1-year program and a 3-month program. And based on what they're trying to move through, what limiting beliefs that there are, I can usually bust through them within 60 to 90 days. But it just depends.
Is that a typical, because I know nothing about life coaching.
There's no typical. I mean, people are people, and we all have different backgrounds, but surprisingly enough, we all have a lot of the same problems too. And it just depends on the motivation of the person and their ability to step through that fear that's underlying.
The fear.
Yeah.
Fear. What is the acronym? False evidence appearing real.
Yes.
The fear for me, it's funny you bring that up. The fear for me, my whole life, I'm 32 years old now, and I could say for 31 years, my fear was I'm not good enough. Nobody's going to like my writing. Mm-hmm. What if this is a stupid idea? What if I'm crazy?
What are all those invisible Facebook people going to think of me when I post my stuff?
Yes. It just, for me, the fear, I've experienced it, but now I've crossed over. So it must be so rewarding for you to help people get through that as well.
It really is. It really is. But just kind of stepping back a little bit, whenever I was at that moment in my job where I knew I didn't belong there, I actually share a video that's going to be published next week on the Feed Her Soul blog that goes into detail about this. But it got to the point where I kind of broke down in like prayer and demanded to the universe to know what my purpose was. And I did that like every day for about 2 weeks. Every day I'm like, what is my purpose? This is not freaking fair.
I remember you telling me this
is
story.
Not fair.
Yeah.
Like, how can you expect somebody to live a fulfilled life but not really know what their purpose is? Like, that was my argument with the universe. Like, I'm ready for this. Show up.
Well, for those of you who obviously can't tell, Ro's a very spiritual being. I am not. So when I met Ro, it was at one of her speaking events that I attended, and she spoke about exactly that, the universe, kind of pointing the way for you. And I remember being, I'm more of like an impulsive thinker. Let's do it, find out what happens later.
You're definitely an action taker.
I'm an action taker, and I'm a little bit known for that, I think, at this point, because my closest friends will tell you I'm impulsive. My husband will tell me to slow down. I just keep on going. And I don't see anything wrong with that. If you're somebody who likes to just go, and I know people who are like that, just go. You've got, there's one chance. You don't have another life. You don't know what's happening tomorrow. Just go and do it, because if not now, when? And so when I met you and you were all about pausing for a second and looking for the signs in the universe, I thought, well, isn't that interesting? And I put things into perspective. I sort of did a rewind on everything I had been through since I became a mom and what led me to becoming an entrepreneur. And I was like, well, look at that. The universe led me right to it.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? I have to disagree with you, because I think you are a spiritual person. You just haven't fully awakened to it yet.
Really?
Because I think everybody is. We're
cheers
all
to spirituality. It's tea.
Cheers. I think we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. It's our core nature. It's our truth and who we really are.
That's like,
and I think
X-Files. Can we get X-Files music? No.
No, but I think you're evolving, Michelle. And really, I hear you say little things like, I act as if.
Act as
Act as
if is
if.
that's my strategy, and I've written
Yeah.
about it. For those of you who don't know how my business came to be, I was a published writer for multiple publications before I even had a website where I could offer my writing services to other businesses. And one of my pieces was how I adopted this act as if mentality, to act as if I was already where I wanted to be, I had the success I wanted to have, and that there were no limits, that I was going to make this happen for myself, for my child, for my husband, for my family, and for the women out there who, like you, I want to help cross them over from that like victim mentality of like,
Right.
oh, my life was so hard. Well, mine was too. And one day I woke up and realized there's no more excuses.
Yeah, nobody's going to do it for me.
So my act as if mentality was more like, okay, act as if I didn't have all these things holding me back in my head. Act as if I was already earning the income I wanted to earn. And I mean, I launched my business when? In May?
Yeah. And it's skyrocketing. It is literally
We're on
shooting
waiting
through the
list.
roof.
We're on waiting list. Okay, but this is not about me.
No, but
Well,
you know
I
what?
want to go back. Wait. Because
Okay.
you talked about, so you were a week into your job. You were like, okay, forget it. This isn't going to happen. Where are you now? Are you full-time, living the dream? Because the entrepreneurial dream is fantastic when it actually comes to fruition. So where are you in that process?
So this was the deal. In my whole planning, I'm not an impulsive person like you. I'm a planner and a prayer and a cosmic aligner, and I do things when they feel right. And I really planned this out. So financially, it was very scary for me to take that big step. And I think that's the block.
It's very important that you bring that up, actually.
Yeah.
I remember you speaking about that when I met you.
It's the block that stops a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, that is something to be scared of. That is not false evidence appearing real. The fear of money that's a real fear.
Absolutely.
That's real because, you could take the leap and you could feel empowered all you want, but if you're not financially prepared.
You're not going to feel empowered if you're not
Right.
financially supported.
Right, right. And you can't take the risks you would essentially need to take, which is, for me, I had to financially open myself up to having a team, to sharing the wealth, because I knew I couldn't do it on my own.
Yep, me too. I know. But yeah, I planned out my finances. I didn't want to live uncomfortably. So I made sure to include, I go to RGTC CrossFit every week, and I wanted to make sure I could afford my CrossFit classes.
Very important.
Nail appointments. Not a lot of extra shopping money, but if I need a new blouse for an interview or a speaking engagement, I want to be able to go and do that.
Yeah.
So I put down a list, a spreadsheet, and I figured out the exact dollar amount that I had to be bringing home every week to be living comfortably. And then I decided I was going to literally go door to door to a complex behind my house that has like 300 businesses. And I was just going to drop off my resume and speak to a hiring manager until I could get something part-time to help me transition into my full-time entrepreneurial job.
That's incredible. You know what? There's so much ground we can cover here, but unfortunately, we do have to take a quick break for the sponsors. You're listening or watching. I hope you're watching Babes in Business with my guest, Ro Forelli. I am Michelle Dempsey, writer, strategist, speaker. You can find me at www.michelledempsey.com. 2 L's and Dempsey, like Patrick, no relation, unfortunately. Ro, where can we find you?
You can find me at roforelli.com or feedhersoulblog.com. And also on Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram.
She's everywhere, but we'll be back. See you soon. Thank you for listening to Babes in Business. And let me tell you, if you're looking for a lawyer, I've got the guy for you. The show is brought to you by the Dempsey Law Firm, PA, a civil litigation boutique specializing in personal injury and wills, trust, and estate planning. The firm founder and attorney, Elliot Dempsey, serves clients across South Florida for issues ranging from auto accidents and slip and falls to your basic will or trust to protect your loved ones. We've all got loved ones, so he's the right guy to call for it. The Dempsey Law Firm can be found online at www.thedempseylaw.com or call him by phone at 954-667-8120. Tell him Michelle sent you. And don't forget, change is the law of life. Thank you for listening to Babes in Business. I am your number one babe in business, your host, Michelle Dempsey of Very Well Written. the business I founded to help other entrepreneurs get their businesses off the ground with great content, strategy, branding, social media, editing, and anything in the way of words. I've got you covered, www.michelledempsey.com, or you can call me at 305-469-7500. Don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock to join me and a fellow babe in business talk all things business. Can't wait to see you there. Are you feeling empowered to be a babe in business? Just when you thought you had all the secrets, I'm getting ready to share some more. We'll see you there on Babes in Business. When's your birthday?
Great.
Oh my God. You guys, we're back, and I didn't even know that it's my guest's birthday this week. So a very special happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
We're back on Babes in Business, where we are chatting live with Ro Forelli. She's a life coach. She's a spiritual guru. She practices Kundalini yoga, which I didn't even know about until we met. She's done a lot of cool stuff, and there's so much more to come for her. And I'm just so happy that, we've connected and we're along this journey together.
Yeah.
This whole Year of the Woman thing that I am feeling so
right?
deeply. You can watch us live on Facebook, Babes in Business, WNN. We're here every Tuesday night. I'm your host, Michelle Dempsey, www.michelledempsey.com. Now, before the break, there was a question I really wanted to ask you because maybe it's a little personal, but I think that any woman listening to this who's on the brink of taking that leap, becoming their own boss, fulfilling that inner need to do it, what did your husband say? Because I know you have a husband and a child.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm always curious, because that's a kind of support that can
absolutely.
either hinder the experience or make it come to fruition. So I got to ask. You're a friend.
Well, when I knew that this was what I was doing, I just knew that this is what I am doing.
Right.
And there's really
was there any convincing involved?
No, not.
Great.
I mean, not really. I just said I'm doing this, and
It's
this
funny
is how
because-
awesome it's going to be. I'm telling you.
And he
I'm
trusted
investing
in that.
myself.
That's awesome.
He did. I think he was a little skeptical, a little scared in the beginning. But as I started getting clients and he started seeing, whoa, Ro, you really are helping people and they really are coming to you and people are referring you. And even his friends at work whose wives follow me have said things to their husbands who have come back to my husband and said things. So, and that feels really good. So
that has to feel great.
It's an evolving journey. He wasn't gung-ho, I'm your number one supporter. He was kind of okay. I'm like, no, I'm doing this, okay?
It's not that you need to ask permission as a woman. I feel...
A lot of women think that they do, though.
Right. And I think, as once you move into the space of, if you're in a household where two people are working, there's a little bit of a different understanding, I think. I know that's the case in my home. And my husband, when I was so unhappy working full time, thank you, honey, for telling me to just take the leap and run. And I knew, and he trusted me in that capacity. So I felt compelled that much more to really just make it happen and then some. And I think, that was a great motivation for me. And I'm glad it is for you too.
Yeah, definitely.
You're an inspiration because,
You're an inspiration.
You're an inspiration. You're the meaning in my life. It's Tuesday night after a holiday weekend. I did wish you guys a great Labor Day. Hope everyone had an amazing Labor Day. I labored on Labor Day. What else is new? But I still enjoyed. Not labor as in give birth. I worked.
I wasn't even thinking that.
I worked. I mean, thank you to my clients. I have an amazing client load and more stuff coming in and speaking engagements. By the way, if you want to see me speak, check my website. I'm not going through the roster right now. It's too much. I want to hear Ro speak. Ro, I want to talk about, because you are juggling now, coming out of, a full-time position, your new business as a life coach, your daughter, your home. What's your make it work strategy? We're always trying to figure it out, but do you have something right now that's working for you?
Yeah, I have a couple of things up my sleeve. So the first thing I really attribute my clarity and ability to manage so many different things is my meditation practice. You mentioned my Kundalini yoga and meditation. I love it. I love it so much. It's completely transformed every piece of my life and allows me to really just show up without being super stressed out. I'm not going to say I don't get stressed because I do, but it comes and goes.
Really?
It comes and goes, like really quickly. It's like, okay, let me just, regroup here for a minute, and then I let it go. And it's just, you get in this flow, and I don't know how to explain it. You have to experience it for yourself.
Well,
But
what?
definitely my meditation practice keeps me grounded.
She's been selling me on this Kundalini. I'm not, you know
Okay.
what? As you could tell from my personality, for me to take a time out of my day to sit and meditate, it sounds like what I probably need the most. I just haven't.
Well, Kundalini is a little different. It's not like you're just sitting there trying not to think any thoughts or anything like that.
That would not work
And what
for
I
me.
was talking to you is actually about Kundalini numerology. So there's a numerology aspect of the practice where
Shame on me for not knowing.
That's
I apologize to all your numerologists out there who think I'm a fool.
no, it's actually a lot of people had never even heard of it. I did a workshop on it earlier this year, and it was awesome, amazing outcome. But when you are ready to really up level your life and your business, you let me know, because I'm going to hook you up with some Kundalini numbers.
You're hooking me up. I don't
will
have to
hook you
pay.
up.
I like
You don't
a
have to
I like
pay.
a good hookup. You guys. Anyone else want to hook me up? You know the number. No, but for real, I think making it work and finding the balance. Like, I have weeks where I feel so on top of my game, and then weeks where I'm
Yeah.
like weeks that just completely run me down. And I know it all comes down to my organization strategy, and I'm constantly finding new ways. I was on a podcast this week for a group called Boss Moms. Are you in Boss Moms?
I might be.
It has revolutionized. There's this Facebook
I don't
community.
know Boss Moms. I don't think so.
Awesome. They're a podcast, and when I wanted to get
Okay.
started, I would listen to the podcast in the car, at the gym, and now they invited me to be on it. And so many of us post every day in the Facebook group about our strategies for keeping it together, because they're all boss moms. They're entrepreneurs with families who are just trying to find ways to stay organized. Probably that's my Achilles heel, because I can be a hot mess sometimes.
Yeah.
I have my go-to strategy, and if I know on the days that those don't work for me, those like few things, and I'm like, all right, time to call it a day and just get in
Okay,
bed.
so check it out. I have something.
Okay.
Okay, so what I tell my clients to do is to list out the top 10 priorities in their life. Okay, what are the top 10 things that are important to you that need your attention and your time on a weekly basis?
10 is a lot.
10, well, you'd be surprised. People have like more than 10, but sometimes it's like two things that could kind of be put into one
I must
thing.
be one of those basic girls they talk about, because I can't think of like.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you
Okay,
do.
all right.
Okay, so you're going to put down 10, and
Okay.
then we're going to cut it in half, and we're going to make it into 5. The 5
like that.
most important things. Then I have a like a little worksheet that I send. It's an Excel spreadsheet, and it's really just a little calendar. It's just a Monday through Sunday, and I literally pencil in the things that I'm going to do. So on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I do CrossFit. On Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays are my running days. I don't always run on those days, but that's what my goal is.
It's the thought that counts.
It's the thought
I put the gym
It's
on
not
my.
the thought that counts. Wait, it doesn't count for anything if you don't do it.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Okay.
That's what I like to tell myself.
I do my meditation Monday through Friday, and then I do Kundalini yoga because I have more time on Saturdays and Sunday mornings. And then, I have 4 days a week that I'm still working in the capacity of the other employer. I work about 20 hours a week for them.
Unreal.
I know, it's amazing.
Unreal.
I feel so supported by the universe right now. You have no idea. I'm
Thank
such a
you,
good-
universe.
Thank you every day. And so I put that in there because that's a requirement of my time. And then I have Mondays that are solely dedicated to clients. I have Tuesday afternoons that are dedicated to content development. And then I have like these other spaces.
Do you write for clients?
Do I write for clients? No.
Okay, don't move in on my territory, Ro. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm wondering, when you have those writing days, are you batching? Like, are you just getting?
I'm batch blogging my ideas. Yeah.
I've
Batch
tried it.
blogging or whatever.
I
you wanna
can
call it.
batch for certain clients, but not for others. It's weird. Like, there are
Yeah.
certain projects that I feel demand more time and attention and then a break, whereas other projects, maybe, I don't know. It depends on my mood. It's different every day. Anyway, I'm getting the signal that we have 2 minutes left. I can't believe it, because you and I could talk about so much, but
For
I want to know
hours.
really quickly, give me
Yeah.
like a quick summation. You're just scratching the surface, as many of us are. And it's so nice to be supported in a community of women that are on the up and up, It's the year of the woman, baby.
It
Ellen
sure
DeGeneres.
is.
I'm going to say it every show. Please call me. Ro, what is your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself going from here?
In 5 years, I will probably have my first book published, and I will be promoting that heavily.
Notice how she said, I will be, not I hope. Well, I, in 5 years, will be taking the stage across the world, not just across South Florida, to empower other women, let them know they can leave their past in the past and have a very successful future.
Yep.
Until then, I'll still be writing. If you need content for your business or marketing or strategy, give me a call. Shout out to all of my clients. You can find me at michelledempsey.com if you need me. Keep it smart, keep it successful, keep it sassy, and keep being a woman in business. Like they say, all good things must come to an end. But the good news is we'll be back next week with more tips, more secrets, and more strategies to empower you on your business babe journey. Did you like something you heard today, or would you like to join us on the show? Please contact me now at 305-469-7500 or visit me on the web at www.michelledempsey.com. I look forward to connecting with you and helping you become a babe in business.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.